The most memorable moment of my career, I would say, let me start with Kofi Olomide. And I talk about Kofi Olomide because I was in studio on the day that he kicked one of his dancers at the airport. And I found myself in the awkward position of having to ask him, why did you do it? And I found that awkward because first of all, as a woman, of course, I mean, I was extremely upset about the fact that he did that, and I saw the video. So I was extremely upset about the fact that he did that. But then again, I was in that position where, okay, why are you passing judgment on this guy first of all? Because it's wrong, but you're a journalist, so you're supposed to get the story at the end of it, you're supposed to be objective. So that was memorable because he came into studio, but I had interviewed him about a month before, and we had this very nice interview. We danced, we were happy, and then he came into studio again, and he thought, oh, this is my friend, so it's not gonna be a hostile interview. And then I was there asking him, how could you do that? Who does that? So that was memorable because he was shocked, and Kenyans obviously lynched him. As you know, Kenyans on Twitter can be quite vicious. Kenyans lynched him, and then he was picked up by the CID officers right after the interview. So the whole thing looked like a setup. Being given an opportunity to tell stories that have not been told before. I remember interviewing Ida Odinga after her son Fidel died. And those are memorable interviews for me because you get to see the person behind the narrative. The narrative that's out there about some of these people is that, oh, this is the wife of the prime minister. This is, this is the first lady. But she got to, reveal a side to her that was so pure, that was so real, that every other woman, whether from Kibera or from Kileleshwa or from Karen, could relate to, from the low class to the upper middle class to the high class. Ida Odinga, at the time she lost her son Fidel Odinga, she retreated to her home in Bondo and was not going to do an interview with anybody for the longest time. And we pursued and asked, please, can we do an interview? And sometimes as the media, we can be insensitive because here's somebody, they're mourning and you're there chasing them for an interview. But eventually she did agree to an interview, and I went to her home in Bondo, and she was gracious. She's a gracious host. She's an amazing lady. And we spent some time together, and I remember her sharing and saying that no mother should ever have to bury their child. And for me, that was very powerful because she basically shared about how, for the first time in her life, everything ceased to matter. And Ida has always been on the right-hand side of her husband, but this time around she said no. Yeah, one of the most memorable ones as well, Lupita Nyong'o, after her Oscar, and this is us in New York, and she's there and she's hanging out with us, and this is Lupita right after an Oscar, and she's just as humble as they come. She's got these publicists, and she's got like an entire building, dedicated to just her as a brand. And I'm there and I'm supposed to interview her, and that was amazing. That was an amazing opportunity for me because I got to talk to her right after that huge moment for her. And we came and we told the story back home, and she spoke in Luo and she greeted the people back home. It was huge. It was a great opportunity to be in NYC, but an even bigger opportunity to talk to Lupita.